Hi boys and girls, for today's lesson we are going to be working on Zentangles. Now as you know from the PowerPoint, Zentangles are patterns that make up a larger picture. And to get started today, the first thing we are going to be working on is the Zentangle value scales. So this is just to start practicing how you're going to make your patterns into different value scales. So from here, this is my first Zentangle pattern. I'm just doing diagonal stripes. And I started by drawing my middle Zentangle. And then from there, I kind of started spacing out my lines to make them a little lighter, and then putting them closer together to get them to be darker. Now you can print out the PDF that is in the PowerPoint, or you can do what I did and just take a piece of paper, a loose leaf paper, a computer paper, and draw your own value scale worksheet. So we're gonna get started and practice this Zentangle value scale together. So I started with stripes, and now I'm going to do, let's do polka dots. So I'm going to just color in some polka dots, and notice I'm starting with my middle one. Okay, so here are my polka dots. Now for this, like I said, it's just practice, so it does not have to be perfectly colored in just yet. So now to make them lighter, I'm going to start spacing out my polka dots. So maybe I have one here, one here, so now that looks a little bit more spaced out than this one. And then I'm going to get even further with my spacing in this one. So if you look at it this way, I started out with 8 polka dots in my middle box, then I moved down to 5, and then I did 3 in my first value scale. So this right here is my light side. So on this side, I will have my darkest polka dot. So now I need to make my polka dots filled in a lot more. So now I'm just gonna go and color that in. And now I'm gonna do that one more time and really fill in the space. Now you might have to make your polka dots a little bit smaller just so you can fill more in. Now as you're going, you'll see that on this piece of paper I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Zentangles that I'm just practicing. So I want you to practice at least 5 as well. So I did diagonal stripes, polka dots, maybe I want to do like a spiral pattern. So I can go in and add in some spirals. And now here, maybe I'll make them a little larger to space them out. And now I can get them a little closer together for this one. So that is up to you what patterns you want. Now you can go on Google Images and type in Zentangle patterns, and you will see a whole bunch of different Zentangle patterns for you to get inspired by. Now, once you're finished with this, I want you to take a picture and make sure you upload it when you upload your final project. This will count for a few points of your final grade. And now you can get your piece of paper. You might want to have this off to the side next to you. This way, when you get started, you're ready to go. And now you're going to do a contour line drawing of anything you would like. So I'm going to keep it simple, and I am actually going to do a line drawing of a rainbow. And like I said, you can do anything you would like. I've seen this done with sneakers, you can do a flower in the center, whatever you like, a basketball, a baseball. Think of something that you would be interested in doing. I know some of you, for your mini lessons, handed in baseball bats or markers, so you can keep with that. Now notice how this fills kind of a good portion of my artwork, and I want to come back in here, maybe add a few more. And there we go. So now the next thing I'm going to do is divide the background into different sections. And you can divide it however you want. So I'm just splitting up my background into different sections. And this is where we are going to be putting in our Zantangle patterns. So if I count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different sections. That means I need to have 12 different Zantangle patterns in each one of these sections. So I'm going to start by looking at my Zantangle value scale that I created, as well as some of the examples that I have on other pages of the PowerPoint, and also taking a look at Google Images at Zantangle patterns, so I really got a good idea of the 12 patterns I want to include in my final artwork. Now, all I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna use a black Sharpie. You can use a black marker. If you don't have a black Sharpie or marker, using pencil for this project is just fine. Or if you want the whole thing to be blue marker, as long as you are using one color and one material. So this whole time I'm using Sharpie. If I started with pencil, maybe keeping it in pencil would be a great idea. So I'm going to start in this corner, and I'm just gonna start with my stripes. Now I'm keeping these a little bit close together because I want them to be a bit darker. So I'm just filling in this whole area with my stripes. Okay, so maybe I want to add one more in here just to fill in that space. So now I have one section done. Notice that I took my time. I'm really making sure I'm staying as best as I can within the lines of this section. My lines aren't kind of falling all the way into the next one. So you really want to make sure you're paying attention to that space. The next section I want to do, now this is pretty close together. I would say this is about kind of like matching up with this scale. So it's not medium, it's maybe one step above. So now I need to do a light section because I want to really make sure I'm using all of the different values in my value scale. So here I might do a light section of polka dots. Now, when I'm looking and grading these projects, I'm making sure that you don't have any color in your contour drawing that's in the center of your paper. And I'm also looking that you have a variety of value scales within your artwork. So that's why I'm really making sure I'm getting a light one in now. Okay, now I might move here and I might do a medium one in this section. So I'm going in and I'm just going to add in some spirals from my third pattern. And there we go. Now, as I'm working, I'm gonna work all the way around and I'm changing the values, I'm changing my patterns in each section to make sure that my artwork is complete and I will get full credit for this assignment. So I hope you guys have fun, and if you have any questions, please email me and send me a photo of your artwork.